I think I want to talk about a little bit about what happened in Coachella this weekend because Justin Bieber, it's so funny. I saw an article about Carol G. And Carol G's
Yes.
a new up and coming pop star. Whatever she got paid to do for Coachella, she apparently spent triple on her set, which was big and showy and it had
Mhm.
great, very well received. But, it speaks, I think, to the power of Justin Bieber that he did something so stripped down and hung out on weekend one that he was the guy that stole the show anyway. And so weekend two, Billie Eilish is on stage with him. And she was a huge Bieber fan growing up. And I thought that was pretty cool.
If you were somebody who went to see weekend one and then you saw what happened at weekend two, would you be pissed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be pissed. Also, just a quick correction. Carol G's not new.
Oh, Carol G's not new. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
For some people that don't know who
Yeah,
Carol G is.
she's new
yes.
to maybe like the mainstream
Yeah. She's
world.
been around. Adam
but she's been around.
listens to only AC/DC.
That's
so
right.
True.
Another new and upcoming band,
Carol
Yeah.
G's, excuse me, Carol G's not new.
I just want to clarify for everyone listening. She's
Yeah.
not new.
You're right. You're right.
I would be livid if I was.
Yeah, no.
I also think it shows, and obviously Justin Bieber has a huge catalog and everything, but some people were saying like men do the least and get.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Oh my gosh. I think
Oh, but
Justin's put on shows before.
He's put on fantastic shows, and
Yeah.
I love that Billy was up there.
I know. It was such a nice moment.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys saw the video, but Hailey Bieber kind of like pushed her up there.
Up there, when they were in the crowd and they were like singing along and
Yeah.
like hugging and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if I was an onlooker of weekend one, I'd be upset about weekend two because
Would
it
you?
seems like
Just-
yes.
Just better?
Yeah, they say that they bring out the big because all the actual celebrities and all of the like friends and families and like the people who quote unquote matter go the second weekend, where it's only just the
Oh.
influencers for the first weekend. So they're like they don't really usually put on the best show.
Oh.
Also, Madonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Madonna?
Yes, she looked great.
Jesus.
And I think she's got that new album, Confessions on a Dance Floor, too.
Mhm.
And I think, so when Confessions first came out,
Changed my life.
life-changing album, great album. By the way, Hung Up was great, but Sorry was better.
Oh,
I'm gonna
Sorry's
say-
incredible. Yeah.
I was just starting in radio when that happened. And so to me, that is like a real formative time. I was an intern.
Yeah.
It was like those songs were really happening. They were playing them at the clubs. Like it was really, we do live to airs. It was
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah.
Now I'm wondering, I'm like, this is a long time. It's been 20 years. Is she going to be able to pull off a dance album? And is it going to feel the same? Or is it going to feel new and exciting? Because what was so amazing about that album is everybody kind of looked at Madonna at that point. It was like, well, she'll just do nostalgia tour stuff or whatever. But no, she came out, had that album, and then
I get like shivers thinking about that album. I think of like being like 19 on the dance floor at Reflections, like the queer bar in Halifax, and like probably fighting with my ex-girlfriend, but being like, I need to shake it off. I need to dance. And like, yeah, Hung Up's just like pounding through the walls.
yes.
I would still dance. I'll dance to whatever Madonna puts out. I think that it doesn't matter the age. It matters the access, and she has access to every incredible producer on
She
this
does.
planet.
Yeah.
And it's like between her and Robin, there's like this like circling
Robin,
back
yeah.
of dance music, which is going to be a lot of fun. Also, I don't know if you guys saw Moby performed at Coachella.
And he sampled the Eminem line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like so there's like this resurgence of like nostalgic early 2000s dance that I'm all about. I think it's gonna be a good summer.
People were talking about it. There's actually like articles on this, which I was reading one the other day, and I forget who by, but it was about how when all that music came out, it was just before and just after some of that dance stuff.
Yeah.
Just before and just after the crash in
The
2008.
yeah.
And so, the crash when I was starting in thing had not happened yet, but it was
Mhm.
bubbling. And, a lot of people turned to house and dance and that sort of thing
As an escape.
as an escape
Yeah.
because it was, before that, it had been like new metal, like Limp Bizkit and stuff like that had been kind of dark, but the economy was good.
Mhm.
And the economy went bad and the music got all poppy and happy. And you remember Katy Perry broke and Lady Gaga broke. And that same summer, both of those artists broke. It was crazy.
That's
there
so
was-
interesting because I mean, there's a lot of parallels. Like, there's a lot
Yeah.
of similarities. People are desperate for joy, and like, there's this like desperation for dance, right? So I wonder if that's. I mean, even Harry Styles' album, right? Like, he's going
Yeah.
to be on tour, also, or not on tour, but doing his residency in the States all summer, and people are like gripping onto lightness and levity. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how the music cycle sort of reflects what's happening in the world?
Interesting.
Sometimes it's just the opposite, right?
Also, if you think about like late 80s, early 90s, like the AIDS crisis, like a lot of
Yes.
like big dance music was coming out. And
Yes.
like it was like people being like, the world is, that's really interesting.
It
Adam.
is. Yeah, it's
Because
crazy.
if you look at patterns, 70s,
Mhm.
the era of disco coming out, like post,
In the late 70s, there was a fuel crisis.
Yeah.
Right. So that fueled a lot of issues and anxiety at that time. And then
That's so
obviously late
interesting. 80s,
there was not just like the AIDS crisis was enormous. There was also some other things. The economy was
Yeah, it
not
was a
doing
mess.
well.
Yeah.
Like it's everything's cyclical, including the economy. But the music cycle is so interesting because it is such a timepiece and a reflection. And it's funny because people will say like, and it's partially true that the music industry is so commoditized that, oh, well, it doesn't really reflect. It's sort of what you're being told to like. And I just don't think that that's true. I think people respond to what they respond to.
Mhm.
And I was listening to a podcast about the music business the other day, and it was talking about artists' control has never been higher than right now. And you know how like Taylor Swift, for instance, had to buy her music back,
Yeah.
right? And there was a whole thing about that. She recorded the second albums, all of that, and then is finally able to grab her. If Taylor Swift were to break today, chances are she'd already own it. And the reason for that is that record companies today will not sign you unless you already have a following. And so when you walk into that office, they want you to have a following, but they want control, but you've got control because you've got the following.
Yeah.
So oftentimes bidding wars happen and they have to turn over that music right away.
It's like, this is my brand. I've already built it. It comes with me and it's mine.
Exactly.
And I love that.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
I don't
So it gives them more creative control over where they're going too.
I don't want to like get too crazy here, guys, but if we are following the patterns, if we're being cyclical,
I'm ready.
maybe Rihanna will put out a new album, because if we're looking at the patterns, around
You don't think so, do you?
2008, Take a Bow came out when the economy crashed. So I think if we're going back in time, repeating patterns, I think we have a new Rihanna album coming out.
You think so?
Mhm.
You've been so we went our
I've been saying
entire
this for
time
10 years.
at Virgin Radio when we were doing mornings, and Jackson would be like, I feel like that album's coming out, and it never came out. It
I
never came out.
left radio because Rihanna didn't put out an album. I said, I can't be here anymore.
And
I
we were
can't
there
do
for
this.
5 years,
I
and
can't-
nobody.
I can't do this anymore. And you know what? When it comes out, it'll heal us all.
It will.
It'll heal
It
all
will.
of us. Yeah.
I'm curious about what direction she actually would go if she did come
Oh,
back
she's
with
gonna
an
put
album.
out some fuck music.
Would
Sorry,
you-
excuse me. Sorry,
Would it be
excuse me.
dance or would it be hip hop or what would it be? Like,
I
what
think
is she
it'll
going
be.
to do?
I think it'll be a mix of dance. I think it's gonna be really Caribbean inspired.
Mhm.
I think it's gonna be sexy. I think it's gonna be hot. I think it's gonna be,
Yeah?
you know what I mean?
Okay,
kind of
all right.
music. Yeah, but it's gonna. Yeah, I hope it's just like Needed Me. I hope it's the Anti album over and over and over.
That was a great album.
Yeah, that was so good.